Never mind.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Brothers in Orange and Blue. I'm your producer, host, and brother Zachary Smouse. With me is your brothers Duke Boynton.
Got a Bronco fam. And yeah, what a good game that was. I loved it. I really didn't like, the matchup. I didn't care really, but anytime Patrick Mahomes and those Kansas City Chiefs get beat, I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. And like, share, and subscribe if you would, please. That would be freaking awesome. I know this is kind of a preemptive of a podcast for you guys, but that's just kind of what we did. And we're going to talk about how, we love watching the Broncos win the Super Bowl, but watching the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl is a close second. Yeah. F you, KC. Oh, man, I was laughing all game with that. All game. And Shaq Barrett did a hell of a good job. I was proud of that boy. I was like, I want him back in Denver.
I'm freaking happy as hell that Buccaneers won.
I am too. I'm not the biggest Tom Brady fan out there when it comes to football stuff, but I got to chalk it up to he's the greatest freaking player of all time. Seven damn Super Bowls, and he was named MVP. And got it. You might. I won't give that type of respect though to Patrick Mahomes if he wins 7 Super Bowls with the Chiefs. I never will. And so, oh well. I'm happy for the Bucks. I know Hulk Hogan's super happy. He was posting all about it. He's a huge Buccaneer fan. He lives in the Tampa area, so it was kind of cool watching him kind of get crazy. That old man.
Do you think Brady will retire now, or do you think he has more in the tank?
He definitely will play next year, and depending on what the Bucks do next year, may decide if he retires. The guy still looks like he's 25 years old. He's got that whole fountain of youth thing going, and I don't understand why, but cool, good for him. Kind of a oddity in the NFL, and being able to actually witness what he's doing is something that I know my grandparents, my great great grandparents who watch football have never been able to witness. So being able to sit back and watch what this guy is doing in the NFL is actually really cool. Uh, Chalk it up to him. He is the GOAT. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he goes in the Hall of Fame still playing football. It wouldn't happen, but it's just a funny thought. No, I think the only way Tom Brady's going to go out is if they don't make the Super Bowl next year. Okay, and so he'll definitely play, but he's going to have to go through Denver next year because we're going to beat the living cabezies out of them. Probably going to be a Denver Tampa Bay Super Bowl, and you know how well Tom Brady plays against the Broncos.
We probably will beat them with Sutton back.
Yeah, yeah. We'll probably beat them without something. But yeah, it was a good game in my opinion. I loved it. I loved watching KC get their asses beat. This, according to the announcers, this is the first time Patrick Mahomes has ever been beaten by double digits in the NFL. I guess it happened one time as college, but that don't count. So yeah, good. And all those yards that Kels got, that's garbage yards, man. Picking up a 30-yard reception here and a 30-yard reception there, and so the Bucks defense really impressed the living hell out of me. I thought that was great. And for the naysayers out there saying, "Well, the refs won the games for the Bucks," how many times do we say that when we play Kansas City and Kansas City has that game won by the refs? I think it was a fairly called game. I think the Kansas City Chiefs were screwing up left and right. A couple calls were a little iffy, but not every single one of them. And they just imploded and blew up. And good. I'm glad they did. And even if the refs were on Tom Brady's side and the Buccaneers, good. The Kansas City Chiefs lost. Woohoo! Yeah. Go for it, buddy.
I miss Shaq Barrett in Denver.
I want him back. that guy's he's a stud. That dude's all around a good player. But given the situation, he was a backup to Von Miller. And to be quite honest with you, this point in time in Shaq Barrett's career, he's probably better than Von Miller. He's definitely played a lot more. That was probably sacrilegious. You guys don't hang me for saying that. But he deserved it. Shaq Barrett deserved it. That Devin White guy, he was all over the field. That secondary. I want to talk about the Bucks secondary and that number, I think it was 54, David, for the Bucks, and how anytime he was covering Travis Kelce, it was awesome. Denver needs one of those coverage linebackers. I want to see that type of a player with Denver, because once they took Kelce out and once they took Tyreek Hill out, it was downhill for the Chiefs. Yeah, it was over. And that's what happens when you rely on three players, and that's Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill. That's all they did throughout the whole entire year. And so now we have a recipe, actually not just Denver, but everybody else now has a recipe to defeat Kansas City and make them look horrible. And I don't care how good Mahomes is, unless they fix their problems. But the one thing that I saw was the Bucks secondary was just amazing. And, coming back to that with Denver, our secondary needs help. So if we're going to be put in the same category as the Bucks, winning Super Bowls and crap like that, we have to fix that secondary. We have to pick up cornerbacks in free agency and in the draft. We can't ignore it. Enough of this Watson talk coming to Denver. I don't want that. I want Drew Lock. He'll be fine. We got our Sutton boy back. Everything will be fine there. We need to work on that secondary, and it needs to happen as soon as free agency starts. I think, and I've been preaching that though for a long time. I've been preaching that our secondary is the first problem that we need to address, and then not only the starters but our depth, our backups to that secondary. Zach, you know what I'm talking about. So if a guy goes down, we don't want to throw in another Kayvon Webster. Sorry, that goes back a few years, or even a few of the other players that Denver had to throw in last year for injured players in the backfield there. Just it didn't pan out good.
really think if Peyton sees how Buccaneers stalk Chiefs, I think we'll upgrade defense first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. I really do. And that I don't remember who the defensive coordinator is for the Bucks. Besides the point, he said basically we're going to keep this real simple against the Chiefs. We're going to do our best, what we know how to do. We're not going to have to. And they didn't blitz a whole heck of a lot. They were able to get pressure with their front four. And of course, the Kansas City Chiefs, their fans, well, our offensive line was beat up. No, you're missing one player, but you're still in the Super Bowl, so you figure this crap out. Oh, the refs were against us. You know, we lost this game. No, you lost this game because you got beat by a better team. And not only beat, you got your asses kicked. And I hope you guys know, whoever watches this, I have been through so many Super Bowls where Denver got their asses kicked. And it's not a good feeling. It hurts like hell. It's one thing to lose a Super Bowl. It's one thing to get your asses kicked. And it hurt me. I mean, to a point of only 2 times I cry in the Super Bowl, when we win or when we get our asses kicked. And so I know that feeling of Chief fans right now. And all I can say is, good. I'm glad you're feeling that right now. You're our mortal enemies. You little bastards. You guys got your asses kicked. And there's no back-to-back Super Bowl wins for the Chiefs now. So that's icing on the cake for me. Oh, I know. I don't have any hatred towards KC, do I? And if I'm going to tell you, had Buffalo made the Super Bowl and played against Tampa Bay, I'd have gone for Buffalo right off the bat. No problems, no questions asked. But since it was Kansas City, go Bucks. And congratulations. Hell of a fuck game. Well coached. Well, I don't know. What'd you think of the game, Zach? Did you like it?
I watched something else, but I kept an eye on the score.
Oh, what else did you watch?
Gotham.
Well, that's okay. That's cool. I watched the whole game in its entirety. And, you know, be quite honest with you, the halftime show it wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest. You know, no wardrobe malfunctions. You know, unless who it is, that's kind of a plus and a negative. I'm glad there wasn't a wardrobe malfunction during this halftime show, be honest with you. But yeah, I thought it was a decent game. I watched it all the way through. The commercials sucked. There was a couple of them that kind of made me chuckle, but they weren't even that good. So, but the game in and of itself, not bad. Made me a happy kid. Bittersweet for Bronco fans. I know that for a fact. Kansas City's not unbeatable. So, and unfortunately, over the last year, the only teams to prove that's the Raiders and the Buccaneers. You know, the 2 pirate teams out of all teams, right? So that means their names are going next. You know, we can't have any pirates in the NFL because you know what they stand for. Anyway, Zach, that was a good little breakdown of the game. You have anything else to say, buddy? Yeah, like, share, subscribe. Bring it on, guys. And thank you for letting us come in and saying hi, and and rooting for the Buccaneers, something that we normally don't do, but we did today. And we're also laughing all the way to bed seeing them Kansas City Chiefs lose. I'm a happy camper. Zach, go ahead, shut her down, buddy. We're good. I think that's enough.